What's up, y'all? Come on in here. I need some water. Come on in here. Come on in here. Open topics Q&A. Come on in here, y'all. What's good, Evan? Let's see, what's up, Mark? Slim Bingles, I don't remember what you said to me about Lord Jamar the other day. I didn't see it. What's up, YouTube subscriber? Yeah. Lord Jamar apologized for calling Kamala Harris a bitch. I guess he said in his IG live that a lot of people were hitting him up saying that he was wrong for calling her a bitch. I don't think he was wrong, because I agree with his original sentiment. You act like a bitch, I'm gonna call you a bitch. But I get why, Lord Jamar is in a different. You can't judge people's position. Lord Jamar is in a position, you don't know what kind of moves he's trying to make on a personal tip. And so I can understand, apologizing. I understand that. I don't like seeing black men apologize, but I can understand. I'm tired of saying let's apologize, but at the same time, I 100,000% understand why he did it. So, yeah, I saw that Corey Cam interview. But like back to, I'm gonna talk about that too. I'm gonna talk about that Corey and Cam interview too. But I can see why Lord Jamar would apologize. I get it. I get it. Oh shit, we got the trolls in here. Oh, Mark. Hey, Mark Anthony 81. Are you Mark by Smith? Mugavelli, that will never happen. But I appreciate the sentiment, my brother. BC add as a moderator. There we go. Anybody asking some stupid shit like virtual hugs, you'll get blocked from the channel. We ain't on that weird shit. But back to Lord Jamar. He's in a position where he has moves to make. So I can understand him. Not wanting to. I can understand him, making that apology. But let's go back to his original sentiment. See, I'm from LA. I'm from California. And Kamala Harris has been a bitch to black men and black women. She threw a black woman in prison and she ain't black. That's what's offensive. You're not black. All the cosplaying, all of the acting like you are. You was raised in Canada. You from India. All that. I listened to Too Short when I was in college. I mean, Tupac when I was in college. Bullshit. Like, dude, she deserves to get cussed out and called that. Like, I come from the school of Dr. Randy Short and I think a lot alike, and I got to hit him up. But Dr. Short, I think a lot alike from this point of view. It's high time that we start making examples out of these politicians. I appreciate that, Unique Organics and C. Vesey. Yeah, get all them out of here. I hit the like button, including you trolls. Hit the like button. So they, when it comes to, I forgot what was I talking about before that. I was talking about, oh yeah, it's about time that, see, we get this whole politician thing wrong. Politicians are public servants. Politicians are public servants. Their job is to work for us. Work, and when they don't work, to get them out of office. And when they try in our face, it's our job to make a public example out of them. Hold on, because I'm about to cover my camera. Hold on. Yeah, so when it comes down to it, politicians are people that we elect that are supposed to carry out a job for us, right? And like in the times of ancient Rome and Greece, around the time, especially in Rome, around that time that, around that same time that I'm over here doing something. I got to make some. I had to come to my computer real quick to make some adjustments. But around the time the empire was falling, you had like politicians were like treated like shit. They would throw rocks at the politicians. In countries that got their shit together, when the politicians, and I'm not saying y'all should throw rocks at politicians, I'm not saying that either. But what I am saying is, you know, that's what I am saying is politicians are nobody to reverence. That's what I'm saying. Politicians, hold on, y'all. There we go. And the young people look at it and say, what's the big deal? There we go. Hold on. All right, cool. I'm back here. I was going through the crib. I didn't want y'all looking all my fucking house. Clean that. There we go. We got the game twisted. I mean, not just black people, Americans in general. Period. Not just black people, all Americans. Americans got the game twisted. It's not our job to worship politicians. We're not some. Politics isn't a team sport. It's not a game. They turn play this. It is a game, but in a society to where people are going to, in a society to where the people, the citizens get their rights. It's not a game. It's whoever's giving me the most Skrilla is the side I'm gonna be with for the next 2 years, 4 years. But we got it to where you gotta worship a politician and be on a politician's team, and you gotta be down with the politician, and we gotta be on a party. And if we ain't on the same team, and we be worshiping politicians, oh look at them, they're a black person doing this great thing. No, a politician is a thug. Politicians are prostitutes. Going into that, y'all see that interview with Corey and Cam yesterday? Y'all see that interview with Corey and Cam? You heard it was one part where Cam Newton asked, he was like, he told Corey, he was talking about like Corey's point of view on Kamala Harris. And Corey told the real like he always do. Then Cam Newton was like, well, it's the aesthetics. I have daughters, and I want them to look and see that, hey, they can be vice president. And then Corey looked at him and was like, little bro, you don't debrief your kids. You just let your kids see what they see on TV, and that's it. And then Cam was like, oh yeah. You gotta. When I see parents allowing their kids to see a politician as some beacon of hope, I question your mental well-being, your child's mental well-being. You gotta be a straight up prostitute if you're going to be a politician. That's a very low, going to the term they use and say low vibrational. It's a very dark, low frequency cesspool of corruption. You can't really have morals if you're going to have a politician. You can't raise somebody with morals. They're not going to fit. They're going to get kicked out. As a matter of fact, if you do come into the Democratic Party with more, I got a homegirl here in LA, and she's still voting for Kamala. I don't know why. Well, last time we talked about it, but she was a chick with morals that was trying to run for some local offices here with the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party never supported her because she had morals and ethics, and everybody that got on their knees, fuck, suck, duck, and backstabbed, and they're the ones who the party got behind. Now, you could be an independent and have some kind of morals about you, but if you're going to be aligned with either party, Democrat or Republican, guaranteed 95% of them have absolutely no morals. Why would you want your kid to be that big of a thug? Why would you want your kid to be in the middle of that? And then when they do say some shit and do some shit that's real, especially if they black, they gonna get charges. What up, oh God, Aaron? What's up, y'all? Yeah, you basically got to swear an oath to do nothing for black people. Why would you want to put your child in that position? To where if they do something right, they're probably going to get a money laundering charge or whatever. I will never raise a child to want to stoop so low as to be a politician. Now, I can understand raising your kid to want to make enough money to buy a politician, because that's how politicians work. They're bought and paid for. Politicians are bought and paid for. We'll be a lot more effective as a black community, as Black America, if we focus on going after white supremacy so we all can start making what we're worth in the job market, and then at the same time and then get our reparations so our business people can create businesses, get government contracts, so we can get long-term wealth and use that wealth to buy politicians. I'm down with that. You said Mr. B said your parents always debriefed you? Yeah. You said Fat Joe's performing at a WNBA game? That's probably the biggest spotlight he should ever get. What's up, human? So, yeah, it's like we gotta teach our children what politics is. We've been having black politicians in office since 1870. And what has that done? When the black politicians were effective just out of slavery during Reconstruction, they basically changed the law and had all the niggas kicked out within 30 years. And then when we started getting politicians back in office, brothers, black people have never not had politicians in office in different parts of the country. Not post 1870. It's not about having a black face in a high place. It's about using whoever's in that seat to get things done, white, black, or indifferent. Because I can tell you right now, LA's had a bunch of black mayors. We got a black mayor right now, Karen Bass. We had Tom Bradley, who was the mayor of LA for damn near 20 years. You had a lot of different, Bernard Parks, police chief, Willie Williams, police chief, black people in all these positions. The person that made the most strides for black LA was actually a white man named Kenneth Hahn. Kenneth Hahn made sure that whatever they got on that side of town, we got over here. From the street lights. Kenneth Hahn took better care of South Central LA than any black politician ever in LA. And I'm sure in your city, it's probably a white man at some point, because at the end of the day, it's about who can get things done. Somebody named Deuce Time say you gotta smoke outside, homie? Yeah, I gotta smoke outside because I have a wife. That's what grown-ass men do. If a grown-ass man got a wife that don't smoke, he respect her decision to not smoke so she can live in a smoke-free house and enjoy herself while she makes my home. While I'm outside making this life for us, she inside making that home for us. And if my wife, who makes a home for me, don't like smoking her lungs when she's chilling, I'm gonna honor that, because that's what real niggas do. You thought you was about to clown me for smoking outside? You gotta smoke outside, homie? Yeah, nigga, because I got a wife. Problem? I'm not one of them niggas that try to impress other niggas. There's too much of that going on in this world. Men living their life, niggas living their life to impress other niggas. Oh, homoerotic ass fools. Hell yeah, I smoke outside. Did you think I was gonna play tough and be like, no, nigga? Yes, you were trying to clown. That's why you threw that grimace line in there that you've been probably telling every fat person you've known since you were 6. You just got caught up in something that you thought was gonna be funny. It didn't work out the way you like you thought it would. So don't back out. Just own it. Just own it. Just own it. Be like, yeah, my bad, homie. I tried to get one in. It's all good. Just own it, brother. Ain't no personal nothing. Ain't nothing personal. But if you gonna come at me, come all the way. But don't come at all. What's up, Chris? Oh yeah, Chris D. I forgot about that video from the Hebrew Israelites. Reason why I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it yet. I will do. I'm glad you said something. I will, because they didn't post that podcast for like 3 months. They finally did post it, but that was like a couple months ago, and I just forgot, because I thought that I was gonna get that Hebrew Israelite post like right away, and I didn't. It didn't get posted. I think we recorded it like in June or May or June, and it didn't come out till like August. And so no, I forgot to go back and double back and look at it. I will. Read. Deuce Time said, I smoke wherever I want in my house. She better spray some spray. Okay, yeah, well, you're the kind of cat that don't consider the feelings of the person you're with. And that's on you. I do. We don't have arguments at home. But in your home, if it don't cause an argument, then it don't cause an argument. Wouldn't cause one here either. Because I got respect. But if you around somebody that don't smoke out of respect, I don't smoke around people who don't smoke. Because people don't smoke for a reason. And I'm never gonna see myself as so high and mighty, so good, so big and bad that I'm just gonna smoke and you gotta spray. No, that's just going into somebody else's lungs. And if they don't want that shit in their lungs, they don't put it there. I thank God that I got a place where I got a fucking porch that's secluded. You said you'd rather not vote than vote for Trump. I'm with you, bless up, Kev. When I get my mail-in ballot, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for Dr. Funkenstein. You know? So question H. What's up, Sharon? Yeah, I'm not voting for somebody said live on 70. I ain't never lived a day of my life off no fucking Vermont. Fuck out of here. And stop trying to guess where I live anyway. Don't do no whole shit. We put we just, keep it chill. When people do trying to guess where I live, that kind of whole shit kind of gets those comments get blocked. But no, I live nowhere no goddamn Vermont. I hate Vermont actually. It's a wide street and it gets narrow somewhere around Gage. I hate that goddamn. I never drive down. I don't drive down Vermont for shit. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm on God's side. I can't put myself when it comes to voting. Evil is evil, and although I do see Trump making strides, I do like the fact that Trump. I like some of the. I think that for once in his life, he's telling the truth about a lot of stuff that's going on with. The Department of Justice backed his claim they're trying to kill him. Iran has a $150,000 bond on his head, which I think is for more than that. So Kamala Harris most definitely Kamala Harris represents the party that's trying to tell kids Kamala Harris's party is trying to confuse our children about gender role, what a man and a woman is. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said they're going to do that. She said that 30 years ago that's what was coming. Because if you can't stand on the fact that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, what facts can you stand on? Like, the law of gender is one of the 7 Hermetic laws for people who are into Hermes, or the 7 laws of Tahuti, or the 7 laws of Thoth, all the same person. It's one of the 7, the law of gender. Everything has a masculine and feminine principle. Everything. You have a plug and you have a socket. You have a key and a keyhole. Everything needs a masculine and feminine balance to work. A battery needs a positive and a negative charge. In cards and cardology, the odd number cards are masculine, the even number cards are feminine. And so that's evil. That's evil. Evil. Confusing our babies like that. Children know. I was listening to some youngsters, some teenagers a few months ago. They were having like a very deep intellectual conversation over the different genders. Here's my issue with that. These kids can't read cursive. They can't read or write cursive. How is it kids can't read or write cursive? How is it these kids aren't taught emotional intelligence? They're not taught logic and reasoning, but they're having intellectual debates over gender. That shouldn't even be conversation. At that point, you're learning the necessary tools it's going to take for you to navigate through the world. High school and college, you're picking up skill sets and learning things that are going to help you contribute to society. This isn't about hating or saying rude or disrespectful things about people of different genders and shit. But this isn't, at the end of the day, let's say, okay, we had this long discussion on gender and we all agree that this person's that gender, and we come up with, say, 78 genders. I'm gonna throw a number out there. Who's gonna run the water treatment facilities? We're done talking about gender. It's 78 genders. All of the United States agrees on these 78 genders. And we're gonna go with these 7 with you. Spent the last however many years to agree on these genders. Who's gonna run the water treatment facilities? Where are these, where are we gonna get these anesthesiologists? Who's gonna do the welding? Who's gonna cut the wood and build the frames of the houses and structures that we need? Who's gonna control the satellites? Well, we got DirecTV and the internet, and we made our life convenient with all these conveniencies. Who's gonna control the satellites? Who's gonna control who's gonna be our airplane mechanics? Our musicians, our tailors, do y'all see what I mean here? High school, middle school, high school is where people start to find these skill sets, find out which skill sets that they like. It used to be before 1969, before Nixon, you graduated high school with a professional skill set, whether it be welding, woodwork, machine work, auto shop, culinary skills. Y'all see this nigga in the chat room, Reginald Edward. Y'all know how Reggie, and back in the day before weed became like all the way legal, when it was just medical, these shops will always get raided and then get shut down and have to open up somewhere else. And I happened to follow this motherfucker by accident. I just to like 3 different shops. I'm saying that to say, this motherfucker was my weed man for a long time. But the nigga is an accountant. Who the fuck would think that the motherfucker standing behind the weed is a whole ass accountant? But decided to sit behind this weed because it's a much easier day than putting in y'all numbers in the machine. He's making the same money. Why not? Now this nigga works for the union. This motherfucker is a professional. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because this was somebody who in the 80s and the 90s went to school, and when he was in school, found a skill set that he liked. His school wasn't talking about what's a this gender versus a that gender. They weren't talking about, we need to be focused on abortions and this. The motherfucker was in school learning something that grew into a skill set. That's what runs society. People with skill sets. An accountant, somebody that knows that is a skill. And I know we got QuickBooks and all that shit, but you still need to talk to a motherfucking human when it comes to them taxes. That's a skill set. Yeah, plumbers, journalists, caterers, designers, engineers, electricians, yeah. Where ain't the kids talking about that? The kids are talking about, I think I'm a this and I think I'm a that. Think about what that means 25 years from now, 30 years from now. You say you walk in circles. How does this play out when think about it. If you're like one of my nieces is like, I think she's 15 now, one of my nieces. That means her whole educated life, she was wasting time in school having serious discussions about a whole bunch of superficial things. What's that going to mean for her classmates? When at the same time, America is importing all of these people in from India, from China, for all the tech jobs. They're over there in the 3rd grade, they're in algebra in other parts of the world. Algebra is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade for most of the world. In America, it's 10th grade. How does this play out over 30 years? And when you represent, I'm saying all that to say, when it comes to the stuff that the Democrats are promoting, I'm not against nobody claiming whatever identity or gender they want. But we're dealing with a party that's inserting that into the education system. So, Kermit, that's why they're putting that into the education system. That's why when Trump says we're going to destroy the Department of Education, 10 years ago, I'd have been like, hell no, don't do it. Obama, yeah. But when you look at the results of the Department of Education, it needs to be destroyed. The Department of Education needs to be destroyed. That may sound controversial, but look at the results. The United States is literally importing its brains. I have a homeboy that's a recruiter. Another homeboy I know named Reggie. He used to be a tech recruiter for Facebook for years. I don't know where he works now, but he still recruits. But he was a recruiter for Facebook for like 7 or 8 years. And he got as many black people as he can get jobs. But he just was like, he would tell people like, he would tell me like, look, what the Americans can do versus what those Indians and Chinese folks can do as far as where they are, how quick they can get things done, is night and day. It's like you almost have to hire those Indians. You have to hire the Nigerians, the ones educated, and I'm not talking about the Nigerians that was born and educated here in America. I'm talking about the ones that was educated at home and came over later. That's what he was, and he would talk about the ones raised in America too, how they had a high standard. But he said that those will be the ones that were the most proficient at their jobs. When I used to drive Uber, when I drove Uber for like when I was at my last job, I would work and I would drive Uber on weekends. I had like a field job. So, I'd be in the field. Sometimes I'd be driving Uber when I'm on the clock. But no, I wouldn't do that. I would clock out and drive Uber. And then clock back in. But I would do that. I would, for the most part, back like, we talking like 2014, 2015, 2016, 17. If I wasn't booked at a comedy club on that weekend, I would drive Uber instead for that. Because, you can start making the money doing comedy. You get used to that. And plus, I didn't make shit at that fucking job. That job didn't pay me shit. So Uber was a good way to supplement the income on the weekends if I wasn't booked on stage. And I did that for like 3 or 4 years, every weekend for the most part that I wasn't on stage. And I would use Uber as like my personal anthropology field test case study kind of thing, And here in LA, you get people from all across the world. So when I would get international people in the car, I would Uber in the Marina Del Rey. That's where all the tech stuff is. After work, and I would get a lot of them tech people that would ride. And anytime I got one of them tech people in my car, I always asked them the same question: if they weren't from the United States, I'd always ask them, "What year, what grade were you in when you learned algebra?" That would be, and I asked this question hundreds of times. I would do pickups at like UCLA and Loyola Marymount and sometimes USC. USC is a whole bunch of fucking dumbasses at that school. But I remember doing these pickups, and every single time when people weren't born and raised in the United States, I'd always ask them, when did y'all start doing algebra? And what I got on average, if you were talking about Nigerians, Ghanaians, the ones that went to school over there, on average, second, sometimes third grade. When I was dealing with people from India, third, sometimes fourth grade. When I was dealing with people from China, it was fourth, sometimes fifth grade. But somewhere between second and fifth grade, they were done with algebra. By sixth grade, really by fourth grade. And I would think about that because at the time I'm working with kids and I'm in these schools every day here in LA. Even my advanced placement kids, the ones who were like in AP, the earliest they were gonna get algebra was seventh grade, eighth grade really. Very, very rare occasions, seventh grade. But that's if you were like crazy ahead of your pace, seventh grade. If you were on pace, eighth, ninth grade was when you got your first time you were in algebra. What's up, Kendall? How can our children compete with that? In the best of schools, you're getting eighth, ninth grade algebra. And you want to go into tech. You want to be into tech. But the people that you're in competition with for these jobs, they were in algebra in the second and third grade. Our education system has completely failed the children. What's up, Delano? And it started in the early 70s with Nixon. Nixon and Kissinger intentionally destroyed the Department of Education. Before the 70s, the United States had the best education system in the world. We started the space program and then got somebody in space in less than a decade from starting the space program. Just read letters from people who fought in World War II. Read manuscripts from people who only had a second and third grade education from the 1800s and the 1900s. They were fucking literary geniuses. with third grade educations. But what happened was, and I learned this when I was in college, when I was at Santa Monica College. There was a shooting up there earlier this week. Somebody got killed. And sad to see it was a brother that did the shooting. Damn, nigga. But when I was in college, I remember one of my professors, we were talking about Kissinger and Nixon. The question was, see, the response to the Vietnam War wasn't just the war on drugs. Like the Vietnam War, the fallout from the Vietnam War, the reason why the United States didn't get to go and do everything they wanted to do was because of the war protests, the hippies. So you had obstruction at home with Black America rising up, and then you had the hippies rising up talking about no more war. Basically, on top of, I've already talked to you guys about the benign neglect policy and a lot of things it did to directly affect Black people. But Kissinger and Nixon didn't only focus on Black people. They were at war with America. And Kissinger basically concluded that the population was too smart and too introspective and knew how to think and reason. So when Kissinger and Nixon got a hold of the Department of Education, they changed it from an education model to a work model. Whereas before the 70s, the school system was to educate you to think for yourself and create for yourself. After the 70s, they slowly turned the knob to make it to where you don't think for yourself, but it became training. We need to train good employees who don't think. We can't keep operating and doing this crazy shit as a nation with a literate citizenry. There we go. We back? We back? Reagan was a flat out thug. We back. Reagan, Clinton, and then it really got bad. The Department of Education got its death blow under Bush #2 when he put that No Child Left Behind Act in. When Bush did No Child Left Behind, before that, the education system was hanging on by a thread because they still taught logic and they still taught math in a way that could be understood. They still wrote cursive, But in 2000, when that No Child Left Behind Act hit with Bush, Department of Education, done. So the Department of Education has basically been rendered ineffective. Think about it. If you tell somebody something that they don't agree with, they're going to call you a hater instead of listening to your point of view and then expressing their point of view authentically, with facts and evidence to back what they say. Now it's, if you make me feel a certain way, you're wrong and I'm right. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? So when Trump, and again, I'm not gonna vote for Trump. I'm not gonna vote for either one because they're both evil. But Trump telling me he's going to destroy end the Department of Education doesn't bother me because, in my experience, the shit's been destroyed. And follow me on Patreon. I got some interviews I'm putting up. I did an interview with Val Young earlier this week that I'm going to post on my Patreon next week. I'm going to have part 2 of my interview with her on. And Val Young sang behind Parliament Funkadelic, The Gap Band, Rick James, Tina Marie, Rory Ayers, and Death Row Records with Snoop, Tupac. Val Young sang, "To live and die in L.A., that's the place for me." That was her singing. I interviewed her earlier this week, so that's going to be going up on Patreon. I will put snippets out on YouTube. You said I'm from Chicago, the birthplace of drill rap. Why do you think drill rap is the most copied rap genre around the world? Because as America goes, so goes the world, and Chicago is the capital of Black America. Niggas from the South and New York get mad every time I say that. LA niggas don't mind giving it up to other cities when they do the right thing. And Dr. King talked about Chicago being the capital of Black America. And Black America is the capital to movements all around the world. Make no mistake about that. And black music is generally the soundtrack to that. Well, Chicago was asleep for a while, and it went to sleep back in the 60s when Dr. King went out there and he had his worst rally of all time. Chicago's starting to wake up. But before Chicago woke up, this genre of music called drill rap came. And drill rap is the sound of anger and frustration born out of depravity. And it celebrates death, honestly. And people thought that was just, remember for the last 10 to 15 years we've been hearing, well, what about Chicago? Well, people tried to make Chicago an example of what's wrong with them Negroes. Now, what's wrong with them Negroes is meeting them on their front steps. Drill rap is the most copied form because people are angry and they're uneducated, they're miseducated around the world, and these kids are angry. Emotional intelligence is no longer taught. So whether you're in New York, Florida, Atlanta, the UK, Canada, France, Australia, there's a big, large, unheard, untapped into group of young men that are extremely violent in this violent world, and drill rap speaks to that. You know? Niggas ain't really drill rapping here in LA because, you know, that sound is too nerve-wracking. We got the sun out here. You see how fucking beautiful it is today? Our sound's a little more open than that. He said, Kermit asked, why did the BET Awards go down the drain? Because white people run it. They hired people like Fat Joe to be the face of it. It used to be something 10 years ago, the BET Awards was still somewhat worth watching. But right now, you got a whole bunch of non-black Americans. The black people who do make decisions aren't black American. And they're making the decision like Fat Joe the whole. Who wants to see that? Who wants to see Fat Joe? Kitty Mac, Fat Joe going at Lord. Fat Joe went at. When did Fat Joe go at Lord Jamar? I'm gonna have to cover that. That's what, like, Lord Jamar apologizing like that. I see why he did it, but I think that was a mistake because it showed a sign of weakness and backing down. I know he's not weak. I know he probably apologized. Nah, I know, I never met the man. I'm sure he has very, very, very good reasons he apologized. I'm sure of it. So I'm not here to criticize him for doing it. But the effect of apologizing opened him up for these arrows to get thrown his way. I don't trust any nigga that laughs at his own jokes. You the only nigga laughing. Goofy ass nigga. But what Lord Jamar did was, because you saw Crazy Legs challenge him to a fight, a boxing match. Now you got My Son and Fat Joe. And from optics, you did call a woman a bitch. Them coming in now, they're going to look like white knights. But had you stood on it, and had he stood on right there in the interview, he said, I call, if you act a certain way, I'm going to call you that. Had he stood 10 toes down on that, it would look a little bit different. But with you apologizing, it makes my son, Fat Joe, whoever these people are, from people who are casually watching, and make no mistake about it, 95% of people are just casually watching. It's only a handful of people who be invested in the shit. Most people just read headlines and keep moving on. From that position, you just now weakened your position and you weakened your stance. So I'd like to see Lord Jamar come out in more long form and respond to this. It's not like he's in a position to where he permanently hurt himself. It's just a small little dust up in this little thing that people are going to forget about in 2 weeks or less. Damn, my son and Fat Joe went at Lord Jamar. So, okay, this might be what we talk about tomorrow on YouTube. I'm giving myself a day off tomorrow from teaching. So I'm not teaching anything on Patreon tomorrow. I've been teaching my card reading class the last couple of weeks. So I'll do a YouTube tomorrow. But I will do the final Cardology class in 2 weeks. Man. And then Lord Jamar having to apologize on the heel of Mark Lamont Hill calling him out. Mark Lamont Hill is so fucking weak. He is not the image of black masculinity that any man is really proud of. And I'm not talking about him. I don't know him. I'm just talking about the image he portrays and puts out there that we've all seen in public over the last 10 to 15 years he's been out there. It's a very weak style of black male that he portrays out there. Very weak. That style, that image that he portrays. Personally, he might be a real nigga. That could just be a persona that he gives us and gives to make his way throughout media. Whatever it is weak, and it's nothing that I would ever encourage young black men to emulate. Yeah, he said men can have babies. He's willing to capitulate to whatever the dominant Democrat society thinks. And I don't want any young black man to capitulate to any political party. Fuck both of them. You better learn the laws of the universe, learn the laws of nature, and stay within accordance of that. Learn who you are as a man. Learn who your group is as a people. Learn about the history of your country so you can be holistic in your mind. Know yourself, know your family, know your race. Learn these aspects, and then you make the best decision that's best for you and your family. You don't align yourself in no fucking party and your whole life a man is a man, is a woman, and a woman is a woman, but today your party says, we don't know what a man and a woman is. And you be like, well, I don't know what a man and a woman is either. That's weak. I never want to apologize to that kind of nigga. Apologize like I saw what Kwame Brown did. Sometimes you can misspeak and say things to where I offended you because I probably spoke too fast. I can see something like that. But somebody like a Mark Lamont Hill telling you need to apologize because you caught, man, fuck you. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I need to do? Who the fuck are you to tell me who I need to apologize to? Now, if a friend tells me to apologize or that person directly asks me to, because we talked it out and it's like, oh yeah, that's something different. But that gotta be something that you wanna do. Not this nigga. Because I say before, and I said, Lord Jamar is somewhat of a representative of the real niggas. And him apologizing It don't take away from that. He still is a representative of the real niggas. But the real niggas kind of took a L. The real niggas took an L yesterday. That's just being straight up. I still rock with bruh. I still think bruh's dope. I still love what he does. I love everything about what Lord Jamar does. But the real niggas took an L without apology. The real niggas took an L. Because of who called? Mark Lamont, he'll call for it? What? And now Clout Joe and my son, another person that bends the knee to the party. The real niggas going to hold this one this weekend. We'll be back though. We'll be back. And we still rock with Lord Jamar. Shit. Even Kobe Bryant missed a couple game-winning shots. That's how life works. Kobe didn't hit them all. Hell yeah, Ted Lawson, Judge Brown say way worse. And he ain't gonna apologize. Judge ain't gonna apologize for saying what he gotta say. Judge gonna be like, I said it. I called her one because she is one. She gets down on her knees and did whatever to Willie Brown. I called her one because she is one. What you gonna do about it, boy? Judge sound like he gritting his teeth. I did it because I said so. What are you gonna do about it, son? Son, look at him. She made her way up through standing on her knees. Anybody that says Lord Jamar's a social media troll is obviously somebody that doesn't listen to what he's saying. Or you just somebody who don't agree with his point of view on white people and Eminem. I find that people who call Lord Jamar a troll, you just don't like what he has to say. He's not trolling. His words are well thought out. He's not just throwing some shit out there and saying, hey, I said it. No, he's giving you detailed explanation as to why he said it and how he said it. You always know an Eminem fan when people have an issue with Lord Jamar, they're either an Eminem fan or they're a non-black American, probably some from the Caribbean or somewhere, that think that they have some kind of claim to hip hop. Those are the two people who don't fuck with Lord Jamar. People who are not black American, they think Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans has anything to do with the start of hip hop or creation of hip hop. Those are the people. Those are the people. So what he believes in flat earth? People believe in the Democratic Party. They're both wrong. I guarantee you'll turn on the news tomorrow and not call somebody crazy who actually fucking believes in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. They're both delusional. So what? He believes in flat earth. You think you're gonna agree with everybody? Round earth isn't, none of this shit is scientific law. I'm sure earth is round, but do I know for sure? It's myself to look down and see? No, I haven't. But if somebody else sees it and looks across and they think that they've heard some information, I'll tell you one thing, generally crazy people are the ones that are right about what's going on. Generally the crazy, Kyrie Irving was crazy. People were like, man, I remember when Kyrie Irving got suspended and he wouldn't take the jab and he was holding out people, and he was talking about I'm standing up for my people. What was people saying? Oh, Kyrie Irving just trying to get attention. Oh, Kyrie Irving believe in flat Earth. I ain't gonna listen to nothing Kyrie Irving say. What Kyrie Irving? He just need to go ahead and take that jab and play basketball. That's what you niggas was saying. He believe in flat Earth. So what? Why would I listen to somebody that believe in flat Earth talk about not taking a jab? That's exactly what you niggas was saying. 3 years later, oh shit, the whole thing, that dude that was on video in New York, the person that was over the lockdown, saying that, hey, we was partying the whole time in the underground in New York. That shit wasn't serious. The shit's coming out. He stood 10 toes down, and them same people that was like, oh, he crazy. People call, it's Dwann B1, Kendall. Dwann B1. I listen to crazy people all the time. Yeah, they said Cat Williams was crazy. He right. He said, you gotta tell Diddy no. And people said he was crazy. You know what else they said was crazy? Kanye West. Kanye West, when he said that, nigga, them other niggas did something. These people killed people. That's what Kanye said. It's some evil people in here that's stealing from us, and this whole thing going on in that industry. Kanye crazy. He voted for Trump. That's how stupid people think. You find one thing you disagree with somebody on and be like, well, everything about them is crazy. Fuck out of here. We too grown for that. We too grown for that. What conspiracy theory did I mention? Marcus G. Marcus G says, you got to stop the conspiracy theories, bro. What conspiracy theory did I... Chat room. Can somebody in the chat tell me a conspiracy theory that I introduced? I literally said, I personally think the earth is round, but if somebody says it's flat, I'm not going to argue with them. Who the fuck? What are you talking about? Yeah, not one. I told y'all, these niggas that LOL, that say something, then laugh when they talk, they ain't talking about shit. Telling y'all, niggas that say something serious and then put a LOL behind it, that's like somebody with a soft handshake. Don't trust them. But they don't trust themselves. That's why they put the LOL. Because I don't even know if I'm saying this right. So I'm going to put an LOL behind it so I can say I was just playing if you prove me wrong. That's what LOL means. I'm not quite sure I'm right, but I'm going to say it anyway and say LOL. And if you say something that comes in after that proves me wrong, I could just say I was having a good time. Fuck out of here, nigga. What's up, Mike Rob? My man, Mike Robinson. But conspiracy theory was something that was literally put out there by the FBI to people who were questioning if alien lifestyle. They wanted to debunk people who were of UFOs in the 1950s. So what they did was they threw out for people to eat on and to use. If somebody was talking about UFOs, oh, that person's a conspiracy theorist. Now what? We in the 2020s, the government is openly admitting UFOs have always been around. But they would dismiss people who talked about UFOs as conspiracy theorists because they know that 95% of the people out there are fucking idiots. And then once you can label somebody a conspiracy theorist, it's going to dissipate whatever they had to say, only to find out 60 years later the shit was true. This is for everybody in here. Dude, DJ Kuda said MK Ultra dudes. Yeah, people who use the word conspiracy theory are people who don't want to think. They believe what they're told. Like this person believes everything the Democrat Party says, or Republican. He's probably in line with one of those two parties. Or if not in line with one of those two parties, he believes what the propaganda says. He probably buys into Jay-Z being the GOAT, The generic niggas, you know. They'll argue with you about LeBron or Jordan. The conversation's only going to stick to whatever the mainstream news puts out, and anybody who deviates from that is a wacko conspiracy theorist, whatever. Actually, I like when people use that word, especially in the context of what I just did. I was just literally saying I don't know. This Earth thing, what happens out here is far more complicated than we can put together. I've never been out of space. Only thing I can prove is my experience. And I do know that this government lies to me about everything. So if somebody else believes it, I'm not going to argue with somebody else because of their beliefs. Because I inherently know that the shit that I was told, most of it was a lie. So if most of what I think that I know is probably a lie, I'm not going to argue with the next nigga who thinks differently. That's all I said. I'm going to let him have his thoughts. And be like, that's what that nigga think? Do I agree that it's flat? No. Because I know that the flight path from LA to Dubai goes over the North Pole. So if the Earth is flat, why is it that flights go from LA to Dubai going over the North Pole? That makes me feel it's round. It's spherical. Because if you're going to fly from Chicago to Istanbul, you're going to fly over the North Pole, not over the Atlantic Ocean. You know? But when people that think the Earth is flat say, hey, look at water. Water can only sit in something that's containing it. They got a good point too. Why the fuck am I going to sit there and argue with them? And if they saying something over here that makes sense, that I know is true, why would I dismiss that because I disagree with them over here? That's how dumbasses think. Like America, going back to what I was talking about, when I was talking about the Department of Education. The Department of Education is useless. Benjamin, I saw you say that already. Round spheres, the same goddamn thing. Goddamn. It's a sphere. It's a sphere. You don't know, nigga, either. You got 5 minutes. Oh, damn. Hey, when niggas keep repeating the same goddamn thing over and over again. You got 5 minutes, brother. But people, not only do they not think, they get offended when other people think. The Department of Education failed us. The Department of Education failed us. Kenny Mack is right. Oh, what's up, Deja? Yeah, Stuns. Yeah, you get timed out for unfunny jokes. Make sure y'all jokes is funny if y'all gonna shoot them. A lot of you niggas be typing with one thumb and got your dick in your other hand, trying to tell jokes. That's why your shit ain't funny, nigga. Well, anyway, yeah. You say you really didn't learn much until college? Yeah, college, I learned a lot. I learned a lot in college. I did. Like, I look back, college overall was a scam, but I'm glad I paid my way through cash. Kenny Mac said, "Do you fuck with Eminem?" That nigga probably do listen to Eminem. That nigga probably like Drake too. That nigga probably think Drake won. Man, they not like us was sorry, man. Drake's still a king. Drake's still a GOAT. Kendall said, not yet. She said, not yet. But I had some really good professors. And when I was in Santa Monica College, I went to 2-year school for 4 years. Like you're supposed to graduate with, like you're supposed to move on to 4-year school after 60 units. When I left Santa Monica College, I had well over 100 units. And you're supposed to move with 60. Because my first year, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Second year, I thought I wanted to know I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I was taking classes all over. I was taking business classes, film classes, music history courses, anthropology courses, sociology course. I was taking everything when I was in college. But then I was about to transfer, but because I was the way I was going to go. I had enough units at the end of my 5th semester to transfer. So I was gonna go fall semester, Santa Monica College, spring semester, Cal State Northridge. That's what I was gonna do. But I took a speech class, and I had this professor named Miss Nancy Grass Hemmer, a white lesbian lady. And that speech class, I took it for easy units. But that class was fun. It was so much fun. It was called, and then I said, I had that woman for 2 classes. One was speech, voice and diction. The other, because I could talk a lot, and I still can stutter when my head gets to thinking too fast. Sometimes my brain thinks faster than my mouth could speak, so I still stutter. But I took speech, voice, and diction with her, and then I took a class called intercultural communication. And I went up to her after class. I was like, "Yo, what major does this class lead to? Because whatever this class is, I want a college degree in." And she told me, okay, communication studies, you could either go to USC or Cal State Long Beach, but she was like, or you can go to Cal State Northridge. Cal State Northridge got basically the same professors that USC got. A lot of your adjunct part-time professors at USC are full-time at Cal State Northridge, and you can get the same degree for 10% of the cost. And I was like, bet. So that made me stay in junior college for another year and a half because I wanted to get all my prerequisites. So when I transferred, I had to change up all my prerequisites. I had enough prerequisites for business, and I had enough prerequisites for for music appreciation, like music history. I had enough prerequisites for those majors, but I was like, nah, G, I gotta do this. I can get a degree in talking, and that's what I did. I stayed another year and a half, got all my prerequisites out the way, went to Cal State Northridge, was out of there in 2 years. Yeah, Kendall, hey, you got the power. You said that dude was corny, so hey, to all you corny niggas, my moderators got the power. If you too corny for too long, time out. We don't like, if my mods don't like corny shit, then I'm not gonna tell them no. No, I did not watch the Colin Wolf interview about nothing but a G Thing production. No, I didn't. Where can I find that, subscriber? Tell me where I can find that. Shaquille, college isn't worth it is a relative statement. It's not worth it to people who don't know what they're going to do with it. College isn't worth it from the point of view of, and I hear what you're saying, But let me give you a slight pushback with respect. College isn't worth it from the point of view of a lot of people just go to college because they were told to go to college. If you don't have a plan and you just get a degree in something, then it's not worth it. I had a plan. I knew I was going to be a speaker one day. I knew that. I didn't know what I was going to be speaking on, but I knew I was going to be speaking. So I got a degree in something I knew, a skill set that I know I need. See, if you don't know what you're going to do, you're better off going to getting a vocation. You're better off learning a trade, something that's going to get you paid right away. A degree's not going to put money in your pocket. Skill sets are. So if you don't know what you want out of this whole college thing, you better off going and learning the skill set. And now, once you learn your skill set and you make your money, you may get a skill set, and your skill set may be like, yo, I really want to be an engineer. The hell yeah, nigga, go to college. You know? Because that skill set is gonna pay for you. College is just trade school. It's just a trade school for non-manual labor. That's what college is. College is a trade school for non-manual labor. It's just a trade school. And if your trade that you want is teaching, law, doctor, engineering, or like what I did in the soft sciences, you really want to be an anthropologist, you really want to be a sociologist, you want to be a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, a licensed clinical social worker, then yeah, go. But if you don't know what that is, don't go and incur that debt because everybody else is going. And that happened to a lot of people in my generation. A lot of people are still paying off college degrees that they never got. Think about that for a second. You went 2 years, but that year, 2 years cost you 40 grand, 50 grand, depending on where you went, if you lived off campus. But life happened. You had a kid. Your mama got sick. You got sick. You couldn't finish. Now you got to work. You got to catch up and work. But you still got this $50,000 tab for a degree you never got. And also, you also got to look at the lay of the land. A lot of your major jobs are no longer requiring college degrees. The government is no longer requiring college degrees for you to work for the government. A lot of your tech companies are no longer requiring college degrees. You got to have skill sets. A lot of your major, Google announced that the college degree requirement is over. Microsoft did. For a lot of your jobs within the federal government, which is 70% of the black middle class, no longer require college degrees. So the lay of the land is changing. In the 90s, you damn better well, in the 2000s, you better damn well have had a college degree. But the lay of the land is in fact changing. And the importance of a college degree isn't what it used to be. You say you teach middle school math? Yeah. See, math, matter of fact, we need more teachers. So, yeah, college degrees are most definitely necessary because we need, especially black male teachers, we need more teachers. So I would never say a college degree isn't necessary. My sister's a teacher. Yeah, only the U.S. sets out to bankrupt students with astronomical tuition fees. Yeah. But I remember being in middle school and them telling what the old people were telling us when I was in middle school and high school was, go ahead, get a degree. And I remember raising my hand like, okay, what if you don't know what you want to do? Well, if you get a degree, it's going to put you in position to get a better job. And then I found out when I turned 26, 27, and when I turned 25 and tried to leave my job that I had through college, now I got this shiny new college degree, and I try to go and get other jobs in banking with this new shiny new college degree. Nobody wanted to hire a black man named DwannBrown. Here in LA, my degree didn't mean shit when it came to getting the job. I got a personal testimony of applying for jobs for 9 years and not getting so much as a call back until I put my name as DwannBrown. Then I got interviews under the name DwannBrown. But then when I showed up to the interview, I got a family member I know. I got a family member with a master's degree who got laid off from their job in 2015, and they had to drive Uber. They had to load boxes at UPS because nobody would hire them with their master's degree, and from one of the from Pepperdine University. That's right. That's a major school here in LA. It's Pepperdine. Master's degree. Nobody wanted them. That's family. That's people I know who's a good worker. Had to drive Uber. Yeah, kids are fascinated with social media accounts because it's only human to want to be a part of something you see every day. So if you see something every day, that's what you want to be a part of. The reason why so many kids care about social media content than college is because you got so many parents that's raising their kids on social media. You got a lot of parents, like when you go back to that interview last night with Cam Newton, and Corey was like, you got to brief your kids off what they see. And Cam Newton was like, yeah. Most parents raise their children on social media. So if when the kid gets off of school, his whole day is in his phone. Schools these days don't give homework. That nigga figured it out. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, Marcus G. You still ain't figured it out. Cornball cheesy shit's not allowed in here. Either you gonna chill and roll with the flow, or you got to go. Yeah, like Cam Newton was trying to sound like a philosopher, looking like a dumbass. But you gotta roll your sleeves up and get in it with these kids. Well, a lot of people let their kids be raised by social media and then turn around and be like, man, all these kids want to do. Well, that's fine. Oh, somebody. Yeah. He came back being weird. We don't like weird shit, man. Kendall saying, yeah, we don't like weird shit. This is the real nigga corner. But what's up, Amir? I'm gonna get at y'all later. I got some shindigging to do. Taste of Soul going on here in LA. Time to get out. It's gonna be like a million niggas on Crenshaw, and I gotta be a part of that. I'm a nigga. I'm a certified nigga. I gotta be around all that. You know what I mean? I can't be around that. I can't have all them black folks having a good time and I'm not there. Hell nah. Eric Benet performing. Who else is performing? Climax is performing. Troop. Nigga, it's time to taste the soul on this beautiful LA day. I'ma holler at y'all. Thank y'all for listening.